Hey everybody, Dave Clark, aka Pattern Guy. Hey, welcome to the Pattern Shop and another Chalk Talk. Okay, we're gonna do today start turning the cylinder. I'm gonna combine this Chalk Talk regular video. I skipped this weekend. Sorry guys, I've just been like super busy. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I was watching an older video. One of the things I said I want to do too is teach woodworking too, okay? Because the thing is, like I said, you know, I've been in 5 shops. Every time we have an apprentice there, they don't teach even basic woodworking, okay? Basically just start, you know, here, go grab a piece of wood, okay? I think personally it's very important to learn, I mean, the very least basics of woodworking, okay? Plus, like I said, I'm not the hugest tree hugger in it. You got to learn how to, you want to conserve your wood. You know, you're paying for this wood. You know, you kind of put it on to your customer. However, you know, when you make a mistake and you got to go grab another piece of wood, they're not paying for that piece that you scrapped. That's on you, okay? Same thing with the metal, okay? So one of the things was I started going over and I showed how we're gonna do to turn those split cylinders today. Okay. Now, one of the things I was telling you, in one of the things I did, one of the things I showed you is, okay, we got, you know, I started out with 2 rectangular pieces. Okay, so here's my parting. All right. And then if you can remember, we put this little 1/2-inch notch here. That'll fit into the split center holder so that they're in halves, okay? Well, one of the other things I showed you was how I knocked the corners off, okay, of the pieces. All right. Now, the reason I did that is 2 or 3-fold. There's a couple different reasons, okay? So it's not that big of a piece, it's pine, okay? You know, you're doing big stuff, it could be a weight issue, okay? Get a lot of weight off of your original starting piece, okay? That's not important to me right now because, like I said, it's pine, it's a small piece. Okay, the other reason you do it for is it's a safety thing also. You know, you don't want these big, you know, square edges out when you're turning. Okay, so basically I got my tool rest right here. Okay, so as this is coming around, obviously you're way out here with your tool rest right here. Here, let's do this. Okay, it's going to be kind of hard too because it should be on center, but just for giggle's sakes. Okay, so you're here, so as I'm bringing my tool into here, we're cutting this little bit off real quick, okay? So I'm gonna have this, you know, you want to keep as little of a gap in here as you can so your tool doesn't suck up there and it'll go flying out. And I've seen it happen, believe me. Seen it happen. I've never done it. So, but I have seen it happen, okay? So one of the things, if you start back here, you know, you're starting, you know, your tool up here, your tool rest up here, and you're not going to have to remove your tool rest, okay, that quickly. Okay, so that's one of the things. Okay, so that's kind of like a safety thing. All right, now the other thing is, one of the most important things is, and this is, it's gonna be hard to show here, but what we're gonna do is, my little grandbubby's going there. Gonna say hi to everybody out in YouTube land. Here, let me see this guy. Here's my little bubby Mac. Mac's 3 months old here. We're gonna get ready to go on the choo-choo trains in by next year easy, right? Huh? What do you think? Huh? We can go on trains. He can't wait, so me neither. He's usually Mr. Smiley Boy, but I'll get him back to his mama. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But anyhow, what the most important part of this it kind of factors into safety again too. Okay, so as I'm gonna go along, I'm gonna try to teach you guys some basic woodworking. One of the biggest things with woodworking is grain, how the grain of wood goes. Okay, so let's say we got our rectangle piece in here. Okay, so I want the grain of the wood going lengthwise on my piece, and I want that grain as straight as I can get it. Okay, and you'll learn this over times. It takes years to learn all this stuff. Okay, and to be able to look at it, things like that. So that's what I was saying the other day too, where usually when I do the split core sticks, usually I use mahogany, because to be honest, I have never grabbed a piece of mahogany where the grain isn't just perfectly straight. I mean, it's always perfectly straight. Okay, pine, same thing. You'll have straight pieces of pine in that, but it'll take a dive every once in a while in that too. And the other thing with turning, if you can't do it, like I said, it's going to take you a long time to learn. Okay, I was mentioned this in the one video, especially with mahogany. When we used to get mahogany in at Arrow, like I said, there was 8 of us, and we used to go to when you start unloading the mahogany in that, when we're putting into the rack, guys would flock over there real quick, and they'd start just lifting pieces up, and what they're doing, believe it or not, they're trying to find the heaviest pieces. So the heavier the piece, the more dense it was. All right, so usually, especially with mahogany, the more dense the pieces were, the nicer it was to turn. It just hit such tight grain. I mean, you could just turn really nice with it. But I'm getting to the point too with this. I'm running, I've got a supply of mahogany, so I'm running low on my mahogany. Plus, it's not, it's not that big. I got Bondo, so if something craps up, we can Bondo stuff and that. So I've just been lately using pine all the time for my core sticks. Okay, so one of the issues with the pine in when you're turning, okay, so what'll happen sometimes, like I said, your grain will be going along, and then it could be going along straight here, and then just start taking a dive like this. Okay, so what'll happen is, if I leave this square, okay, so this is doing the same thing. Okay, so what happens is I'm cutting this little, basically you're going to be cutting this little triangular piece off here. Okay, so as I'm running my tool along that edge, the sharp edge, okay, when you hit like right around in here with that tool, my grain's going like this, right? So getting kind of wobbly there. When I hit this, I'll actually be down here. Okay, that chunk it'll break on that grain. Okay, so then you have a big chunk that comes off. It's dangerous for one thing. Plus, now I'm way under on my size of working on your piece. So that's why when you do turning, then like I said, it's going to take you a long time to learn this. Sometimes too, especially when you're first starting out, when I go, we literally got lumber by the semi-load at Arrow. Okay, so I mean, we get pieces of mahogany. They would be, everything came 16-foot lengths. We'd get, I have no idea, 120 pieces of mahogany. Same thing with the pine. Get like 120 pieces of pine and that in there. So I mean, you had a choice when you're getting, just starting out. I got to know the guys, Freeman Manufacturing, from me, the Avon Lake branch. It's the headquarters, actually. It's in Avon. Avon is like, 35-minute drive from here. So I got to know the guys in the warehouse really well, and they kind of know what I do in that. So when I order lumber through them. Yeah, the one guy knows, he'll try to find stuff that's least knots and as straight a grain as you can get it. So he'll watch that out for me. But I mean, when you're first starting out, you need 32 board feet of pine. You're gonna get one board, so you're kind of at the mercy of getting that board. If the lumber company lets you go in and pick your lumber out, do it and start learning. Okay, you'll be able to start. It's hard when it's rough cut, but you'll start getting to the point where just watch your grains all the time. Always look at your lumber. When you go in, I'm sure most of the guys have done like some kind of building project where you take a 2x4 and you sight down the 2x4, make sure it's not banana or anything like that. So it's kind of the same thing with this. All right, so I'll try to teach you as much as we're going along. Okay, so basically if I had a piece of wood like this too, okay, and it's on an octagon, right? Let's see if we can get rid of part of this here. All right, so I'm cut down here now. Okay, and then we got that octagon shape up here. All right, so I'm cutting down here with my tool. I'm not getting into this curved over part. It's less likely to start just chipping big chunks out. Okay, so that's a couple different reasons why you do it, and it's especially when you're first starting turning, it's way easier to cut the corners off, and start turning it just to have those sharp corners on too. Like I said, you're moving your tool rest the least, and it's scary. I mean, that chunks just start coming off, even if it's straight grain too. So it's just easier to do the corners on there. So when you get going, okay. So all right, I got my storyboard. Okay, so what we do is we do a storyboard. Okay, and then we'll put this on. And here's my storyboard. Okay, hopefully we're getting this good here. All right, so I got like a little bit of a center. So I've got my small cylinder and I got my large cylinder here. Okay, so I got my lines where the lengths of things are. There's a bunch of notches and everything. Okay, so I got those, and then I got my depths of what I needed. All right, so basically what I'm going to go over to the lathe, I'll take you guys over there. Hopefully we can get some good pictures going. I'm going to turn to my largest diameter first, get going on there, and then I'll be able to put my marks on, see what's going on, and then we'll get the smaller diameter, put my marks on, and get going for those. We'll get these turned up. Then what I got to do from here is those are going to sit for a little bit. Traditionally, usually they would be done, okay, but like I said, with this one, I'll refresh your memories real quick here. Okay, basically what I was saying was this is traditionally what we do. Okay, so I got my pattern. Let's do this. Ran into this last time. Okay, so I got a hole going through here, right? So I got my core print. Okay, well with these, I had the thing here. I don't know if you can see this one, and if you can remember the case. I got a hole coming out here and a hole coming out here. Okay, so basically it's going to look like this. Okay, here's my hole going through there. So I'd have a core stick here, core stick here. Okay, well, I can't do that because I'll have space in between here. Sand will get out there and we'll be able to mold it, right? So I gotta kind of integrate these two together, make one core print. Okay, but as I said last time too, I have to core underneath this lip too. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm thinking, I'm not 100% there yet. Like I said, I'm having a hard time envisioning this thing. What I think I'm gonna have to do, make this core stick and print first, and the molder will have to set those two cores first, and then we'll have to have a core print in that core, and I'll have to set these cylinder cores into there. And that happens where sometimes you have to set cores into other cores. It's pretty trick. Real quick ramble session too. When I was at Arrow, working with Arrow, Joe and I, my foreman and I, we actually worked on a job. It's called the strainer housing. It was a 2-foot square thing. That thing, it had 144 cores to it. 144 cores in this little thing. And I think him and I physically worked on that. The pattern was just a big square. It was just all core thing. So I think we worked on that thing for about a year. We really did. It was in the shop for about 2 years. What they would do was we made it, they went out, sampled it, and they cut it apart, put it on, forget the name of the machine, I'll get the name of the machine. Basically it's a big table they put on a table, and they had a little finger that would come down, a little gantry over it, and it was hooked up to the, this is when that stuff first started out too. I think the first couple times they just laid it out with height gauge. So literally they did that I don't know how many times. And a lot of times, you know, when they first do that, it's a pattern maker's fault all the time when stuff doesn't come out. And what they were finding out, it wasn't so much, it wasn't our fault. All our equipment was good and that. What it was is, if you go in a foundry, you can, it's funny, you can tell the different trades. Pattern makers is a 2-foot one, but pattern makers, usually we got our 1-foot rule in the back pocket, okay? What electricians have a set of vice grips and a screwdriver. Molders, they'd have a trowel and a block of sandpaper in there. They'd have a block with a piece of sandpaper on it. What they do is sand part of the core print. They'd sand like the end of the core print off of the core to set them in. Well, they do it, a lot of times they do it without trying to set it in there too, and it's slopping in there, you know. So it could be, so that's basically what they were doing. They were picking up the cores, 144 cores, and they were sanding the core prints off and jamming them in this thing, you know. So it was the inconsistency of how these guys were setting the cores. So what we ended up doing, I think I have some pictures of it. I'll try to find some pictures of it. Joe and I actually had to make what's called core setting fixtures on this thing, and maybe we'll do a chalk talk on that. I'll try to draw it out. I'll try to find the pictures, but that was a trip and a half. That thing took us. Actually, I think we made 3 core setting fixtures for that. I think that took us almost a year to make that thing. That was pretty trick. That's a slick thing. Like I said, I'll try to find pictures. I'm not sure I got them or not though. But if not, I'll do some sketching on it, okay? So that's the thing with these cores that we're doing. So let me take you over to the lathe. I'll start turning this. Like I said, hopefully I'll get some good pictures. More than likely, I'll try to get a close-up of it so you're not going to see my head, all right? Which could be a good thing too, right? So, all right, let me get you set up over by the lathe, guys. Okay, guys, here, I'm gonna get going on this thing. I know you can't see my head. I want to do this. All right, real quick, like I said, if you see me do something on here you're not comfortable with, don't, okay? All right, so a couple calipers we're going to use. These are outside calipers, okay? These are spring calipers. Do not use spring calipers when you are first starting out, actually, until you get many years on there, because what happens is when I use my parting tool with these things, what's going to happen is if something grabs, it's going to grab and they're coming out, okay? So use a firm joint, okay? Usually they have a nut or a tightening nut or whatever. Use these because if they get jammed, they'll spring back open, okay? So don't use these, and you're going to see me use these, but like I said, I bet you I've been turning for close to 50 years, okay? So that's like for real experienced guys, okay? If you guys see these things too if you see them in garage sales, auctions, you know, whatever, grab these. Grab as many as you can. I literally, I bet you have 6 pair like about this size. I think these are about 4-inch ones. The more it's like, well, you know, why do you need more? Well, when I'm doing this job here, what I can do, I can grab a few pair of these. I can preset a bunch of different, you know, depths and go to town, okay, on there. So I always, believe me, if I see these, I snag them, need it or not, you know. So grab these up, you know, dividers, same thing, and inside calipers too. All right, so let me get going on this here, guys. Okay, I got this closed around, right? Instead of moving my tool rest over, I'm just gonna work here real quick. My parting tool, I got it down to the depth where I'm going to get, and I'm going to take my gouge, get some of the meat out in between. Okay, now I got that mostly where I'm at, so I'm going to grab my chisel. Yeah, I'm not going to go perfectly parallel here. You gotta, and this is where I say it's gonna take yours. You gotta kind of get it off on the outside a little bit too, okay? Okay, it should be pretty close. All right, now what I'm gonna do, just for giggles, we're gonna see how. Not too bad. Okay, now here's another thing we're gonna do. Hang tight. I'll show you something else. Okay, guys, I got this fairly flat. Okay, it's a pattern. We want this to be real nice. Okay, trick the other day. Remember when I was doing the radius on that ingot mold? Okay, I took a piece of mahogany, put my radius on there, took a crayon. Okay, same thing, right? I want this perfectly flat, okay? So here is, I got a perfectly flat piece of mahogany, okay? Do the straight, you know, on the thin edge, okay? Turn this on. Okay, this isn't showing up that great. I can see a little bit. You're not gonna be able to see it on camera, but I can see it a little bit here. Let's see if we can do it this way. Hopefully you guys can see it that way. All right, so same thing again. Here what I'm gonna do is, there are a couple things you can do. This is close enough. I'm just gonna, a flat block of sandpaper. I think I'm gonna have to hit some spots so I can see. I gotta just hit some spots, so we'll get that rough piece of sandpaper out. Okay, I think I'm good enough for you know. Actually, that's not too bad. All the way across. Okay, now this is it. This is pretty darn good. All right, I'm hitting crayon all the way across. Okay, good enough. This I can see is a little tad high there, but here's the thing: we got to do some more turning on this thing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do I think I might have to modify my storyboard here too here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go cut this off here real quick. All right, hang tight. Okay guys, I cut these off because this was getting my way. I want to touch this, okay? So here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my center line, I'm gonna put my center line on my piece here. All right, then if you can see, hopefully you can see this, I've got two lines I gotta go to. I gotta go to this line here and here. This is 10 degrees. All right, so instead of trying to get my protractor out and, you know, figure, I'm gonna put both of these lines, I'm already out here, okay, so I gotta get to into here. All right, so I'm gonna take my parting tool, I'm gonna get this inside, my parting tool there, and then this line will be on the outside, and I'll just match the line up. I'll show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see. Right. Start with my center line. Okay, now what I'm going to do, here's my center line. Okay, next thing I got to do, get my dividers. Should probably get a smaller pair. Okay, now this is all symmetrical too, so alright, so I'm gonna get it to that inside line right there. Okay. And there, go to the right side and left side. Okay, I need them on both sides. Alright, so there's those two lines. Now I'm gonna open it up to this bottom line here. Okay. Opening it up. Alright, so there's my 10-degree mark, alright? Same thing. Put it into my center. There's my top mark. Okay? Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for my center line. See what I'm doing here. Center line, I got that. I got to do these two lines now. Alright, so gotta come all the way out here. Alright, so look, I'm grabbing this one out here, and I'm also getting this one over here, okay? Alright, because this is symmetrical, so we can do that. Alright, so I got that one, and I got the one on the left, okay? Now I got one more to go. That'll be the bottom out there. Okay. Left and right. Okay, let's see if I can pick you up and show you this a little bit. Okay, so here's, let me turn this off. Let's see if I can do this right here. Alright, so there's the lines I got to do, okay? Here it is on the storyboard, okay? See that? So, let me try to get this good here. Hang on, let me turn this off and try to do this. Hang on. Okay guys, see if I can do this without busting something. Okay, I got this here. Alright, here's my center. Right there. Let's do this. It's my center right there, okay? So I got my center line. So I got my bottom line down here, which is this line, and then I got my outside line. That'll give me my 10 degrees, okay? Same thing here. So what I'm gonna do is, in between these two lines, I got to take that down to 2¼ inches, okay, from the 2 7/8, okay. So I'll get my parting tool and I'll go in here and here, like from here to here will be my parting tool. From here to here is going to be my parting tool, and then I'll get this out. All right, and then I got to just take my chisel and go from here down to the bottom. All right, and that'll give me my 10-degree mark, okay. But here's what I'm saying, and this is it. This is hard for when you're first starting out to, you know, put knife marks on here. And this is, like I said, this is all this kind of stuff is dangerous. Okay, you got to hold on to this. So I got a rough pencil line here. Okay, then I this is. You know, I scribed it in there, so that's a groove, okay? So then what you do from here, you know, I take my dividers and I go from my center line out to the lines I need to go to. So see, I'm out to this outer line out here. Well, these are symmetrical too. So I'm on my layout here, get my measurement, and then while the lathe is spinning, you know, I lightly put this side into my center groove, okay, and then I make a groove out here, okay, and then I do the same thing here, you know. So then I just do all the measurements, okay. So like I said, if I was doing this with a if this was just like a rocking chair spindle or a spindle for a staircase, you can just do this with pencil, you know. That's going to be close enough for that kind of stuff. This is the pattern. This has got to be very accurate, okay. So you want to do it, you always use your knives in your dividers and stuff. A lot of guys will just use a knife and mark it out. To me, this is, and like I said, we were lucky with this one too because it's symmetrical, okay? So it just made it way easier. All right, so we're going to do that. And then what we're going to be lucky with, this diameter here is actually going to come all the way out and be the core print, okay? So just watch, you gotta watch that you don't have enough depth where you go and hit your center here too, okay? So let me put you back a little bit so we don't get you in the face here, and I'll finish turning this up, all right? Hang tight. Okay guys, two things real quick. I was backwards. We gotta cut into here, cut into the center, and cut into the outside. I was backwards, okay? So that's where I say you gotta pay attention to what you're doing all the time, okay? So we're gonna get our parting tool in here and then go out. We're in the middle, we gotta be in and on the outside, okay? So these two here will be sticking up, okay? Another thing I forgot to mention too, real quick, really important thing. Like I say, go off the fly, top of my head. So don't forget, when you are making these layouts, when you're doing pattern making or storyboard, okay, layout or storyboard, whatever, don't forget I measured off the casting, or I made that little splash where I just, you know, put the bondo up there and measure off that. You have to measure that with a standard rule. Then I take my 1/8 inch shrink rule and I laid it out with my 8 inch shrink rule. Don't forget that, okay? So you go from standard on the casting to your shrink rule, okay? Drop this down a little bit. Okay, you gotta be this is one of the more difficult tools to use on a lathe too, because you're basically doing it one-handed, okay, so be careful. Connect the dots. Okay guys, I'm gonna check these by listen, they're not too bad. This one's a little tight. Stand to take a little bit off of that one. That's good enough for sanding. Okay, this one I boogered. I got in a little bit too much, trying to show off for everybody. So okay, so hopefully you can see. Let me show you. All right, so I got my 3 steps, okay, and then see how I got these little lines. So I'm gonna go from the bottom up here up to here, and there's my 10 degrees, okay. So I'm gonna use my chisel for that too. Just use my flat chisel, okay. Maybe not. Use my diamond point. This is where I'm saying it become ambidextrous. I got to do left hand now, okay? So. Okay, there you go, guys. That's my core stick right there. Okay, I'm gonna round these corners a little bit with a piece of sandpaper. There's a little bit of a groove right here. I'm gonna fill that in with Bondo. It's not a big deal. Like I said too, I'm not sure where we're gonna be because I gotta integrate these in with that other. I might not even have to do it, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. But before I go, I'm gonna sand these around the corners a little bit and they should be done, okay? Now here's what I was saying too the other day. Let me see, put your bag down again here. All right, see this? I don't know if you can see it up close. That was a file. All right, I needed a little diamond point, whatchamacallit, tool bit. You know, I just stuck a file handle. I've had this since I was an apprentice. So, I mean, that's a good 35 years old right there. So there's an instance right there, okay? Anyhow, a couple things real quick. I'm gonna let you go. I'm just gonna go turn the other one up, same thing, okay, and then these are probably gonna sit for a bit, okay, and then I gotta get the outside, you know, core stick going on there. I'll show you how to, I'm gonna get going on that other little T-piece that I showed you before. I think I showed you that. Oh no, you know what, I probably didn't show you that. Let me show you, let me take you over here. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, guys, back here. All right, the guy with the Y pipes, okay, those are coming along. I went down the foundry to cast a whole bunch of them the other day. I had a couple issues. I think, like I said, I don't have a pyrometer. I don't think I had the metal hot enough, so quite a few of them didn't come out. So we're gonna keep on trying. He liked the ones that were good, so we're just gonna keep on trying. It's one of those things too. It's like you gotta know when to, you know, if I'm scrapping more than half of them out every time, I mean, you're not making money, you know. So, but I'm just getting started. This guy's got a lot more stuff coming, so you know, I want to keep something going with him. So here's another job he gave me. We're gonna start tackling that thing. Okay, I made a little layout for it. All right, so we'll get going on that job. I'll show you how to turn that up, split centers again. Okay, and do it the same as the Y pipe. We're going to make the mold off of it and just cast a whole bunch, put them on a board. Okay, here's Dean's job real quick. This is that little job I'm working on for him. This is some kind of a scoop to go into something. All right, this is a fin I made. Okay, so I don't have a drawing for this whatsoever. He gave me a couple dimensions, just go, you know, told me to go at it. Okay, so I don't know how good you can see here, but this is way off because of the amount of draft he wants to put on this and that. Okay, so normally if this particular piece was going to be the pattern and you know, they had to make 100 of these, 1,000 of these or something. I wouldn't leave this like this, okay? So at best, we're probably gonna make 2 castings off of this, hopefully just 1 casting. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna squish a bunch of Bondo in there, and we're just gonna use Bondo to, you know, work this configuration out there. All right, we got to do something out here too a little bit, but I'm just going to use Bondo for it, and you know, go from there. Like I said, we just got to make 1 or 2 pieces, so it's not going to be a big deal. I don't have an issue with you know, doing that. So anyhow, try to get you guys up to the foundry. Like I said, it's just blistering hot here right now. It's humid. That's the issue we have here in Cleveland. That's why I got the beanie on. If I do stuff here, I sweat like a pig, so I try to keep the sweat out of my, it drips on my glasses. So I wear these in the summertime, try to keep the sawdust out of my head. I wear them down at the foundry all the time too. I just can't, I wear ball caps outside. I just can't have that brim over. You know, the older I'm getting, I need all the light I can get. So I wear these things. So sorry if I look even funkier than I usually do, but I just, you know, I don't want you to see me sweating like a pig either too. So try to get to the foundry with you guys. You know, like I said, I just got to do 1 of these things. Definitely for sure we'll do that little T-pipe thing. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. I want to get going on that too. Okay, so you know, see how that goes. I just want to get stuff going here. It's kind of hard being a lone wolf, you know. So you know, if I gotta go get supplies, I gotta stop work and go get supplies. You know, I got, you know, just doing my taxes the other day. I try to do that on my own time, you know, things like that. But it's hard. I want to try to keep you guys going though. I want to teach. That's my biggest thing right now. I want you guys to learn this. I really want people to start learning this trade. I really do. So it's, you know, it seems that there's quite a few guys out there that are really interested in doing this, you know. So I just want to keep it going. Okay. So anyhow, I'd appreciate comments. You know, you guys got any questions? Yipes, gripes, moans, groans. You know, give them to me. Like I said, I'm the kind of guy, I'll admit when I'm wrong. You know, if somebody sees something, you know, I try my hardest not to put anything out that's, I don't know, is 100% for sure. But, you know, like I said, I'm this way in the foundry too. So I know one guy kind of put in the comments a way to do that handle, you know. I wasn't able to do it. It's too heavy for me. I can't lift the mold. So we're taking that up to a buddy of mine's foundry. He's going to help me. So I know he won't let me film at his place, but I'll show you you know, what we get out of them when I get those things done. So yeah, if you guys any yipes, gripes, moans, groans, give them to me. Any questions, please. I'll try to answer your questions. I want you guys to learn stuff here. I really do. Okay. You got any ideas for me? What, you know, things that you want to see? A lot of times it's hard for me to, you know, I'll show you things that I'm doing, but it's, you know, this is why I do the chalk talks, to try to introduce new things in that and do the teach thing. Okay. So, but I mean, if you guys got something that, you know, you guys you know, want to learn, let me know. Okay. So anyhow, I'll cut you loose. We'll see you next time around. So everybody have a good one out there and stay safe, most important. All right.